100% Chance of Wine, sponsored by The Lodge at Columbia Point.
Today on 100% Chance of Wine, we made our way to Walla Walla, Bergevin Lane Vineyards, and I'm joined by Annette. You guys, you started off your family was it from France and then eventually came to Walla Walla?
Originally France, and then migrated actually to Quebec.
Okay.
And then from there, migrated to the Walla Walla Valley in 1864.
Way back when. And so then when the vineyard where it's on now, you said that was back in the early 1900s?
Early
that
1900s.
They moved to? Okay.
1903. So we've been farming that land over 115 years.
Wow. So when did that transition happen to, making it a full-time vineyard?
Well, we've always been kind of a farming family. That's our background. And my dad's dream, his passion is wine. And he used to be an Olympia beer guy, but he has this amazing palate and fell in love with it. And he's a man of few words, so that was one of the ways that he and I could really communicate. It was the first time, we would literally sit down and talk for half an hour. So I'm like, this is cool, this is what I want to do, because I get to talk to Dad. And my mom, she's kind of the rock. But
yeah.
So we had the opportunity. We were about, 9 years into the winery and kind of had that going relatively smoothly. It's the wine world, so it goes like this. So it was the perfect time to plant our vines. So we put those in the ground with help of family. It's a family project. It was my dream team. And that came to fruition. And this year we're 11th leaf, which is pretty exciting.
But you really didn't have a tasting facility at that point, did you?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you had the big production facility that you were kind of doing everything. Were you making the wines and everything at that one spot, the production facility?
Yeah, all of our wines were made there. Okay. We actually had a little tasting room there, but it's off the beaten path. So a couple years ago, the idea was being bounced around and I was scared to death and I can't do it. And then it was like, it's time, we need to do this. So this opportunity in this space opened up. And with a lot of help from friends and family, this opened this last June. Great time to open, 2020.
But was it a success as it opened up? Did you see a lot of folks that were just so excited that you finally had a tasting room?
Oh my gosh, well, we've had a tasting room, but we had a new tasting room that really embraced what we wanted to do and how we wanted to share our wines with friends and family, our wine club members who we love. And we have outdoors now and indoors. Had a lot of help from friends and family, and so I'm sitting here today super excited and just waiting now for things to open up so that we can really share our space.
Yeah, and some of the pieces, especially, the tasting bar up here was made by your brother.
He made it. He said he'll probably never do something like this again in his lifetime. But it's a 100-year-old wall from an elevator. And it's so cool. We sanded it down, and he had one of his folks out at his farm do all the metal work. And the tasting bar will lower, so it can be a big table. We could do a wine dinner someday. And then our little bistro table, he made this as well. And people have offered to come in and buy them. He says he'll never make them again.
During COVID, opening up a tasting room, how has that been? Any struggles trying to get this open?
Any or how many? So it was all kind of a crazy story, but right before this all came to be, I was also diagnosed with breast cancer. So early stage, which was kind of makes me tear. It's not even that tear. I'm very lucky, fortunate, and I just amazed at all the wonderful women and people out there going through this, and you go on with your life. And so that happened. So it was going through that, and then COVID hits. And we were supposed to open in March, and we had to make the decision 3 days earlier to shut down. So we didn't get to open until June of last year. So with all of the fun opportunities of creating a new space and going through my own medical stuff, I had the best group of people around me that helped make it all happen on those days where you just feel like, they were right there to lift you up and help bring this together. So it's been definitely challenging, and we had to shut down again in November. But we're back up strong. We're at 50%, and we hope to continue